Welcome to the Carl Jackson Podcast. I'm excited and delighted that you guys are watching us on CJC Network and on TheGrid Network and on Spotify. That's right, Spotify now plays our shows on weekly. I think it's weekly now. So we have a great guest today. I can't say how excited I am to have her here in studio. She's in my new film, LAX to Paris. Andrea McClew. Hi.
How are you? Good to see you. I am living life and I'm loving it right now.
Yeah. You look great.
Thank you. I'll take it. You look great too.
Man, listen, I'm just in my digs. So listen, I want you to talk about this new film we got coming out. LAX to Paris. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if you have not seen the first movie, LAX, go see the film, stream it. It's on Tubi. It's on TheGrid Network.
Yes.
Let's talk about I think we should talk about the first movie first.
Absolutely.
Before we go into the second movie.
Absolutely.
The first movie, what was your thought when I pitched to you the story for LAX? The first one.
The first one.
Yes.
I honestly just completely fell in love with Kelly, the character. The story on its own was just like, oh my God, this is some stuff is about to go down. That's all I kept thinking was, we going here? We're doing this?
Right.
And I just kept thinking, I was like, can I pull this off? Can I pull this character off? But I wanted to because so many women in relationships can relate to this situation. They can relate to what Kelly and John went through and what they're going through in their marriage. And I was like, he's got to give me this role. I was like, I don't care what I have to do. I was like, I got to get this role.
Well, for me, working with you is like working with Denzel Washington.
Stop it.
With Viola Davis. No, seriously, like.
I mean, well, you know, it's so hard.
You know it too. You know
I'm joking.
No, guys, she is like amazing. We've done 3 movies together. 2 movies or 3?
3.
This will be,
LAX to Paris is our third.
LAX to Paris is our third film.
Yeah.
We have like 2 more that we're talking about doing. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But one of the things I liked about Andrea was she has this regalness about her performance. You have a regalness. You have this. I can't explain it. It's almost like 60s meet. Like retro meet 2023. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's very it is not always something you find in black actresses.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And I hate to say it that way because it comes off whatever.
No,
politically
it needs
incorrect.
to be said.
But
I
it
will
needs
say
to
it
be
for you.
Talk about it. Let's talk. We have these conversations.
We have. It's unfortunate. I'll tell you what. I can give you a situation as to what Carl is talking. What you're talking about, basically. I had a director actually come to me, and he was trying to be serious and say, "Oh yeah, I would love to have you in one of my films and do something." I was like, "That's great." I was like, "What kind of roles would come up for me?" He's like, "Well, if I need a prostitute, I'll let you know." Where's the? I have to look in the camera. I don't know which camera I'm looking at.
There you go. Y'all get that?
So that's basically what it is. It's like we as black actresses, it's very difficult to get roles that are serious. Sometimes they, you know, and I love Viola Davis and Angela Bassett, and they kind of just, those are the roles for them. But then us young actresses coming up and out, you know, you can be, you're a rapper, you're a prostitute, you play like a crackhead. Like they give us really not the roles that we really want to hone in on.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why I cast you. If you notice, when I cast you, I always cast you in a regalness.
You do.
Because we've seen those stories already. So my whole concept was we've got to see the black woman in a different light.
Yes.
We have to see that image in a different light. So in the first film, you play a mortgage broker.
I do.
You know what I mean? In the second film, you play the wife of an author. And in LAX to Paris, you play, again, a wife of an author. And those type of roles are so needed in our psyche. You know what I mean?
And we need directors like you that put that out there.
Say that again.
We need directors like Carl Jackson.
People give me...
We need directors like Carl Jackson out there because you give us actresses the opportunity to play these roles. When I'm playing Kelly, Kelly kind of embodies someone, like you said, with a regalness.
Right.
She's an intelligent woman in the movie. She is a mother. She's a mother, and she's also a wife to a famous actor or author, basically. But she is one of those women that she's like, she knows what she wants. She's very intelligent. She's very well put together. And I love to be able to play that type of character. It's been great playing Kelly.
So let's talk about Kelly and talk about the audience. What have you been hearing about the first one? And we're going to, in a second, show a clip of LAX to Paris, a little clip from it. But before we do that, talk about what the experiences and the conversation has been like since people have seen her, since people have watched LAX. What have you heard?
I mean, first of all, people are in love with this movie. They're in love with the first movie. They were absolutely in love with it. The second thing is a lot of women were mad at you. A lot of women were mad at you. I'm sorry, Carl, but they were just like, they were rooting for Kelly because they just saw how he treated her in a sense. It's like, I feel though, I took it as he loves her.
Exactly.
And you can clearly see that. He just has an interesting way of showing it. Okay, let's just say that. He's doing what he has to do with his family. He has to travel and do these things. But he also is kind of one of those people that's just kind of like aggressive with her, you know? And so a lot of the times women were like, man, I felt for her. I've actually had some wives come to me and say like, oh my God, I'm you, I'm Kelly. Like I've experienced that with my husband and they've watched the movie together as a couple and it actually helped their marriage. I was blown away by that.
Crazy.
She was just like, it actually helped my marriage because he saw himself in you, she saw herself in me, and it just kind of helped them kind of figure out and navigate their own relationship and how to treat each other better.
It's interesting you said that because I got the same experience too. When I would look at blogs, I would see how all the women hated me, right? I mean, hated me. But but here's what was interesting. The husbands were always quiet. They always said the same thing to me. You got it right, but it was hell in my house after watching your movie because we would have these interesting discussions that was actually healing our marriage. But you were saying the things that we want to say, but we can't say because we don't want divorce court. We don't want to deal with her being angry for 3 weeks. We don't want to deal with her being hurt. You know?
Exactly.
So I tried to write the character in a way where I would say the things that a husband would say, but try not to be a butthole, can I say butthole about it? And but that was hard. And I think we talked about this. I wasn't going to play that part.
I remember you saying it.
We were casting another person to play that part. And I couldn't find anybody that could. It was either people were too nice or they were just extremely a butthole, right? Like they were just over the top. I was like, I've got to find somebody that knows this character, that understands it. And I was like, well, I understand the character.
You're like, so, I'm just going to do it.
I'm just going to do it.
I'm just going to do it.
And when we shot that movie, that first day that we started filming, didn't you feel like our chemistry was like?
Natural. I've worked with so many different actors, and I think we just had some sort of connection.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that was my first time working with you, actor to actor. I'm used to our first movie, it was director to actress, but to act with you was actually it was like a presence, some sort of a presence in the room and chemistry that was unmatched. It was too easy. It was almost like it was too easy. I was like, I don't understand. This is supposed to be harder, but it wasn't.
It was interesting to see John and Kelly as John and Kelly.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? When I first watched the film, the first cut of the film, I was like, this is like not Carl and Andrea. This is John and Kelly.
John and Kelly.
And it was almost scary.
It was scary.
Because our chemistry just was like,
I know.
The story, it was almost like the angels or something came in and was like,
it was very natural.
This story needs to be told. So we're going to talk about LAX to Paris, but before we talk about LAX to Paris, let's show a clip. A clip of LAX to Paris.
So how are we supposed to even handle this with the press? What are we going to do? I mean, you do realize how much of a mess this is going to be. the scandal that's going to come up behind this.
Safe inside the light of your embrace.
And I'm supposed to do what?
I see a world as it could be if only in the tender music of your voice I hear a song as it should be. If only this time, not this time, in the velvet shelter of a dream, I know love as it might be. If only.
Woo!
We look good.
Yeah, we did. You know, when we shot the part on the street,
Yeah.
the looks we got,
Oh my gosh.
it was like crazy.
Everybody. Okay, so we shot that. I remember we had been shooting all day, in the room.
Yep.
Shooting, so it was kind of nice to kind of go out and be about, but I did not expect to see so many people crowd us.
Crowding us.
They were like, who are
what are we?
they?
Yeah, it was like, who are these people?
But it felt good. I was like, oh, is this what it's like to be a celebrity? Wow. It was a little great, but yeah, everybody was like, who are you guys? Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we're shooting a movie.
This movie, LAX to Paris, guys, I gotta say, the performance that Andrea did in LAX to Paris, LAX 2, I can't even put into words how powerful she is in this movie. Like, I have to play the husband because I've committed to the character, so obviously I've got to play my part, but she totally steal this movie, guys. Like, I've seen the first cut of it. We got we're almost to the final cut.
Yeah.
But what you're doing in this film is like, I literally have cried watching you in this film. I cried in one.
We cried on set.
We cried on set.
We cried on set,
And
everybody.
Everybody cried on set.
Yeah,
The last day of production,
Yeah.
one of the crew members came up to me, and I think I have it on my social media, so if you guys know my social media, you can go there. And he's talking about how his family lived this story in part 2, and how his father was me, my character in the film, and how abrasive and angry and frustrated his father was with his mother. And he literally almost had
It triggered.
Yeah, it triggered some things on set.
But he was holding the camera and crying.
Yeah,
Next
he was
thing
crying.
I know, you're crying. I've never felt that on set before.
I've done 15 films in my career so far, and I've never cried after I've wrapped like I cried in this movie.
Yeah.
We were exhausted. I cried for like an hour.
Yeah.
The girlfriend I had at the time, the mother of my daughter, I called her, my ex, and she was my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And I called her, and I literally was crying on the phone with her. And she's like, what's wrong? You know? And I was like, this movie. It took me out. Like, it brought up feelings in my soul that I didn't know was there. Talk a little bit about, without giving away too much of the story, talk about what you were feeling on set when we were making 2, because 2 was way more intense than 1. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I will say when you first pitched the story, I was like, okay, I have to really get this character together. I'm gonna have to, because I mean, it's pretty explosive, guys. Some of the stuff that happens without giving too much away. So I really was like, okay, if I was in this situation personally, I know women who have been in this situation personally, what would I do? What are gonna be the reactions? How is she going to feel? And so I basically, and I hope I wasn't rude to anybody on set, and I do apologize to any of the crew. I was in. I wouldn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I had my headphones in, and I was just really taking myself to such a dark place because I had to.
Right.
I had to go there because I really, really wanted to do that kind of method of acting to really get that character to portray the emotions. And I mean, how I felt, it was an out-of-body experience.
Right.
At one point, I remember I was crying so much that you said I scared you for a second.
You did.
And you guys kept rolling, and I didn't care. I was like, no, I want the cameras to keep rolling. I don't remember.
Wow.
I can honestly tell you, I don't remember what happened. I had a literal out-of-body experience and just lost it. But I felt like in that moment, I became Kelly. I was no longer Andrea, I was Kelly. I felt it. Everything that she was feeling, everything that the anger, the sadness, the frustration, the exhaustion, I just exuded and it came out and I couldn't help it.
You know what's crazy is when we were filming, I remember that moment you're talking about because you were even angry at me.
I got mad at you.
Extremely angry at me.
Yeah, physically, I just got mad.
Got like, she got in my face, and I remember she was so into the character that I literally, at one point, took the camera from the camera guys.
did.
And actually, I took everybody off set for a second, and I just said, you know what, let me just take this camera and let me get some of this.
Yep, you did.
And because I did that for a piece of the film because I wanted it to feel like you were talking to me.
Yeah.
Because you were in that moment.
I was.
You were in that feeling. Let's talk a little bit about this scene right here in the bathroom. We're looking a bit of the clip. What was you thinking when we shot this part?
I'm gonna be honest. At that point, I was emotionally drained, but in a good way. Like you caught that at the right moment because those emotions, I was legit feeling. And I just felt like at that point, I transformed into Kelly. Right. So if I'm a woman really looking, and she's kind of looking in that mirror right now thinking, you know, this man done this again.
Right.
She's like, I cannot believe I'm going through this again.
Right.
So she would be emotionally drained.
Right.
She's looking at herself in the mirror. She's thinking all these thoughts. And she is emotionally drained by her situation, but also trying to figure out what to do. Right. Because we're supposed to be a wealthy couple.
Right. And that was the part of it that's really interesting. So, you know, we start out the film, we're on our private jet, and we're flying, and everything is happy.
It's happy. That's how the movie starts.
It's how the movie starts. And as you watch the film, you start to see this couple and this story and this happy life to unravel. Yeah. Completely. And completely unravels. By the end, it's just, you're exhausted. Let's talk a little bit about your take on families that go through, because you do some of that in your charities, right? You help families that have went through abuse. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So a lot of times, especially with military families, sometimes there are cases, it doesn't happen a lot, but there are cases where those type of things happen in the home. Right. And I would say anybody, not just military, but just anybody in general that kind of goes through something like that, where there's some sort of trauma or abuse. And, you know, a lot of times, I don't think when a woman is in that situation, I think a lot of times we feel like, oh, just leave. Right. Just leave. Right. It should be that easy. Right. No, it's not. It's not. If they have children, if it's financial situations, they have nowhere to go. Right. It's like they have to do that. Or in Kelly and John's situation, if they're a public figure couple, right, we don't want our business out there for everybody to see. Right. There's so many people, I would say big fish and small pond type situations where they are the it couple in their town. Right. They don't want their business out there like that. Right. So a lot of times it's like, do you stay? Do you deal with this? Do you go through this? Or do you try to find ways to get help? Luckily, there are resources out there to help people in those situations, but what do you do?
So what is it like being a military wife?
Yeah, I didn't expect that one. You know, it's hard. I've been a military spouse for 19 years. So we've lived in 6 different states. He's been through 6 or 7 different deployments. And it's difficult. A lot of people don't know the challenges that military families face on a day-to-day basis. When your husband's deployed for 6 to 9 months out of the year, and you're having to try to take care of those children, and you are mom and dad, essentially. And I've been in that situation multiple times. I've been under the sink cranking, the pipes. I've had to, fix the tires on the car. No, there's not a man here to help me with that.
Wow.
It's just me. So you've had to learn as military spouses. I would say we're very strong women. We have to be. We don't have a choice. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, how do you do it? I don't have a choice. You can't help who you fall in love with, and you can't help the job that they do.
That's good.
You can't.
That's good.
So you're in it. Once you get married, you are in it when it comes to the military lifestyle. But, it's been an adventure, and I would always call it that. It's always an adventure. You can either look at it in a positive way or a negative way when it comes to deployments in that life. But I choose to see it as a positive thing because I've learned a lot about different cultures from all over the world. We've traveled everywhere. My kids have been exposed to a lot of different cultures out there, and it's been an adventure.
Guys, she has kids. Look at this body. Look at this.
I'll take it.
That's crazy.
Tacos and working out.
Tacos?
Tacos. Yes, of course.
You eat tacos, really?
A lot of tacos. Are you kidding? That's what I do. Carne asada.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tacos calabeza.
Making me hungry.
I eat.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So let's talk a little bit about pageantry, because you are in that industry.
I am.
And you big time.
No, I don't know about that.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started doing pageants, I would say maybe 6-7 years ago. It took me 7 tries, honestly, to get an international title. Like, it took a very long time for me to get there, but I did. I was Mrs. Hollywood, and then once I won Mrs. Hollywood, I became Mrs. California. Then I won Mrs. United States, and then I won Mrs. Regency International. So I just been on a streak of wins for the last, so I was like, all those 7 losses, look at the wins I received in the major titles.
So these were back to back?
Yes, back to back.
Wow.
I just kept winning, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how far can we take this? And now I'm currently the reigning Mrs. Black Global, so that has been such a great feeling to do that because I'm able to represent for young African American women in the beauty industry, and it's been amazing for me to do that. And I just gave up my international title a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was very sad, but I had a great ride. I had a great year, traveled the world, won a cruise for free, and
she didn't invite me, guys.
I'm sorry, it was a Queen's cruise.
Ooh. So let me ask you this: why are people so jealous of you?
Oh.
Because I see some of the blogs and I read some of the comments and I've heard stories. What is it about you that makes people so? What is it?
I don't know. We talk about everything, huh? We are going there.
Oh, we're going there.
Okay. Well, I don't. You know what? Okay, I'll say this. I have never had a jealous bone in my body, to be honest with you.
Right.
I admire people.
Right. Me too.
You know what I'm saying? When I look at someone,
yeah,
it's like I admire. I'm like, man, what can I do to get there? It's not like I wish I had that.
Right.
I've never been that way.
Right.
So for me, it is hard when people treat me a certain way because I don't understand.
Right.
I don't understand it. I'm like, y'all have been there when I've been broke. She has been broke. Okay, like, yeah, I'm an actress. Sometimes we're called struggling actresses for a reason, you know. But they've been there when I wasn't getting any work.
Right.
No one were opening doors for me. People used to laugh at, like, you're never going to be an actress.
Right.
You're never going to do that. You're never going to be a beauty queen. I shut Ish down.
Yes, you did.
I proved them wrong because, and I'm not saying that in a cocky way.
No, you did. No, seriously.
It's like I had a purpose.
Right.
And I knew I needed to fulfill that.
Come on.
And I wanted to be able to inspire not only African American women, not only military spouses, not only mothers, not only wives. I've been in that position of knowing what am I going to do with my life.
Right.
Where am I going to go with my life? I was like, I've been folding laundry, watching Grey's Anatomy, figuring out when is my life going to happen.
Right.
And it does.
Right.
It does happen for you if you work hard. So I don't know why people are jealous. I don't know.
I know why, because you fine as hell.
Stop it.
That's why.
Stop it.
That's what it is, I'm telling you.
Stop.
So, what was your first film?
Ooh, with you, or are you talking with?
Your very first project that you've ever done.
Well, okay, my very, very first project, I was supposed to be an extra. And then it was called, what was it called? Oh my gosh. Oh, it was called Where the Water Runs.
Okay.
It actually ended up doing really well around the film festival circuit. They won a lot of awards, actually. And I did a pageant, won the pageant, or no, I did the pageant, lost the pageant, got a call the next morning. The producer was there. He just happened to be there in the audience. And he's like, we'd love for you to, you know, be in our movie, just be an extra. And I'm like, I'm not an actress. I was like, and I didn't win the pageant. Are you sure? They're like, no, we want you to do it. I show up. It's at the AFI Institute in LA. And I'm on set. And I went from basically being an extra to they're like, can you do some lines? I'm like, yeah, sure. Sure, I can do lines. I'm not an actress at that point. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Wow.
I didn't know, but I was like, I'm gonna ride with this. So you want me to do some lines? She's gonna do some lines.
Wow.
So I did it and just fell in love with acting. Completely.
Really?
I was just an extra. And they picked me out of the crowd and they were just like, we'd love for you to just do a couple of lines with the main lead. And they told me what to do and I did it and we had to do it 30,000 times and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
What year was this?
This was back in 2015.
And what was your first lead role?
You. With you.
Say that
It was Strong Black Woman 2. Strong Black Woman. That was my very first lead.
Was with me.
With you. You took a chance on me.
I took a chance on you because I saw the regalness. I was like, she's a star. That's the first thing I said when I saw your headshot.
Yeah. On backstage.
And when I heard you, and I was like, I heard you speak, and I was like, she's a star. She's a movie star. And now 3 movies in, and thank God I was right, because LAX to Paris proves it. When they see this film, they're gonna be like, wow, why did we not find her first? You're gonna actually be able to give the industry your fee. You're gonna be telling them, this is my fee after this film comes out. I want you to mark this moment that I said this. You're going to be actually giving away, you're going to be telling people, this is my fee. That's what's going to happen next. That's how good you are in this film. And you haven't even seen it yet.
I have not seen it yet.
What do you feel when you see that? When you see the, I saw you almost tear up when you were watching it.
I was getting teary-eyed.
Why was you getting teary-eyed watching that clip?
The journey.
Yeah.
The journey. I've done background for 5-6 years. I worked for free. I was up here in LA almost every weekend, grabbing my children during my husband's deployments and taking them with me. So to be in this studio and in this, I'm literally taken in this moment because I can't believe you dream about this.
Yeah.
Actresses and actors dream about moments like this, to see yourself on camera like that. And I'm saying just thank you personally. Thank you personally, because you changed my life. You're the reason why I'm booked and busy, honey. She's booked.
And you have how many movies coming now?
I don't even.
You lost count. Like you had the last time we talked, you had like 6 movies.
Yeah, I have 3 projects up and coming between. No, not including your projects.
Not including mine. Yeah, not including my stuff.
We have stuff we're doing, but there's 2 other projects I have coming out, or at least we're in the works with right now. A TV show that we are piloting January of next year. Not to mention I do a lot of hosting. A lot of people don't know I do a lot of hosting jobs.
You just hosted the award show, right?
I did. I hosted the San Diego Film Awards. I'm going to be the red carpet host for the Las Vegas Film Awards in September. I'm hosting a feature film. I think I just got asked to do that yesterday.
And then we're scheduled to fly to Paris. If they don't shut the world down.
I know, I'm starting to.
I know, I'm getting scared. But we're supposed to be going to Paris for our premiere.
Yep, doing that
in
premiere.
Paris. So this movie, let's talk a little bit. We got a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up. But there's 2 questions I want to ask. The first one is, what would you tell young up-and-coming actresses or actors that want to do what you're doing right now? What advice would you give them?
Perseverance is key. Perseverance is key. I can do 25 auditions a day and get nothing. I have come close several times to doing major productions. It's down to me and another actress, and they still say, no, I'm sorry, you're not a good fit. Happens all the time. And then you have a wave where you're getting tons of deals. Like right now, I'm just riding a wave of just several different projects going on. Like my husband was like, "What is going on with you?" I was like, "I don't know," but just call after call after call lately. I am literally booked from now to July of next year.
Wow.
With just projects and hosting and just a lot going on. So perseverance is key. You just can never give up, guys. I know what that feels like to be an actress, an actor, and you're on Backstage, you're on Actors Access, you're on Casting Network, you're trying to get an agent. I get it, I feel you, I've been here, I'm still there. But you just have to keep going. Don't take it personally when you don't get the roles. They will come. I can assure you the roles will come. And then you'll be sitting here like me, living the life with Carl Jackson in studio.
I love you, man.
I'm so animated. I can't help it. You know I'm crazy. You know I'm crazy. I'm crazy, guys. You'll get used to me.
This is us all the time. This is us all the time.
All the time.
So, what takeaway would you say you have taken away from LAX to Paris? What lesson did you learn from making this movie?
Honestly, Kelly taught me something.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, that sounds sort of schizo to say.
Yeah.
Because it's like the character, but she taught me something. Because
John taught me something too.
Right?
Yeah, this whole experience was like, I've never experienced anything like this on a movie set.
Yeah, it was learning for me.
This movie was different. Something was up.
I feel more, I would say I feel more confident because I wouldn't say I can fully relate to Kelly, but as a wife of being with someone who is, doing and traveling and stuff, I definitely know what that feels like.
Right.
So I can totally understand her emotions and wanting his attention and longing for that attention and desperation for that. So I learned just to kind of be more confident towards the movie. She starts to just feel herself. Like in the first movie, she wasn't like that. She's very meek and calm, and John would say whatever he wanted to her and she would just take it.
Right.
But in this situation, Kelly's like, I own this now. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. Yeah. And this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do things. She let her husband know. So I now was like, maybe I should be more like that. Like I loved her boldness and her confidence and how sexy she was at moments and how vulnerable she was. I learned, I'm like, it's okay to have these different emotions with your spouse, and still kind of navigate your relationship.
I wanted you to shine in this film because when I heard the feedback from the first one, I knew that we really needed to show you in power. Yeah. We really needed to show you in this powerful wife as opposed to serving your husband. And when I say serve, I don't mean it like in...
I know what you mean.
But just in
She was very submissive.
Very submissive in the first one. She was trying to play this daunting wife, this loving person who loves her husband no matter what. She loves him.
She loves him.
And in this case, because of the story, and it's no, and by the way, guys, it's not there's no type of hitting or any type of...
Oh, no. Yeah, none of that.
We said we got to make that clear.
Yeah, none of that's
people
going on.
assume that it's going to be domestic violence or something. It's nothing about that. There are so many ways you can traumatize someone without it being domestic violence. So that's what this movie is actually about. It's it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. That's what the Bible says. And that's what this is. It's a big thing, but it started small, and then it just escalated in the relationship. But one of the things I wanted to see you do was shine, because I really wanted, my thing was, I'm not a great actor,
Stop it.
But my gift is directing. That's my gift. If I dare any director to challenge my gift as an eye.
And you can tell a hell of a story.
I know how to tell a story. That's my gift. But the acting, I'm not really great at it. But there were times we were making this film because I wanted you to shine. I wanted you to really be the star of this film. And she is, guys. She is the star of this film. There are times that I literally was in character and I was looking at you. It was like, I couldn't even believe how connected you were to Kelly.
I was very connected.
You were way more connected in this one than you were in the first one.
It took me a few weeks actually to get out of character.
Wow. You never told me this.
I didn't. It took me a few weeks to get out of that character.
You've never called me or texted me this.
My husband's like, you're so different right now. I don't know what's going on with you.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not kidding. It took me at least 2 to 3 weeks to get out of her character.
Wow.
Because I could, like, I was Kelly. Like, I could not get it out of my head. And I went home and took Kelly home.
Wow.
So, you know, my husband's like, I need Andrea back because this girl here.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you don't get, I'm going to say this now, if the Academy don't at least acknowledge you in this film, forget me, forget director, best director, I don't care about all that. If they don't give you at least the acknowledgement, it's all rigged because you killed this film. You killed this movie.
Thank you.
I mean, I literally watched the film myself, and I have a hard time separating director from consumer watching this. I have to literally go, no, I've got to think as a director.
Yeah.
But it's hard because there's not a piece of frame or an inch of frame in this film that you didn't just own it.
Yeah.
It's so many choices that were there that you gave us. I want to know what inspired you this time that was different from the first film that we did. What do you think it was?
I loved the script.
Okay.
I want to say I really loved the script. I loved how much more explosive I would say everything is. There's some tea, honey. There's some tea in this movie. Y'all don't want to miss it. I'm telling you, it's some big tea. But it just inspired me to just want to do a better job. And I went through my reels of studying different actresses, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett. These are some of my favorites I'm calling out, you know. And I just kind of studied the different roles and like what they did, the different variations. And I was like, how can I bring that inside me to just exude it out? Because I wanted to not only inspire myself, I was hoping to inspire other women to maybe, if they were Kelly in the first film and they want to be Kelly now in the second film, that they get that desire. Like if Kelly stood up to her husband like that.
Right.
She wasn't like that the first time, but in the second movie, she stood up to him.
Right.
Like maybe I can feel the way, maybe I can say things that I want to say that have been on my mind forever to my husband or my friend, you know, whoever. You know, so I was hoping to really do that. So I don't just make movies. For me, it's not about just being an actress and just doing a role.
Right.
I am so damn passionate about this.
Right.
You know, I am so passionate about it. So when I go in on a character, if you tell me whatever it is, I'm going to go hard on it. Right. You know, and that's what I wanted to do.
This movie, what I come to realize is that you really take the job seriously. That's what I realized in this film, and that was important to me. Also, you mentioned earlier when you said, in one, you wasn't standing up to my character, but in two, and I think that's important that women understand that submissiveness doesn't mean being a doormat. No. It just means following a man who is conscious and respectful of who you are. Right. And that's what two, I think, really, it was important to me that you shine in two because one, I got beat up so bad.
You did. You did. I was like, poor Carl.
I got beat up, man.
I got so many messages. You bastard.
Oh my God. I had women. I have women friends, married and single, who I've been friends with for years, and they told me, I want to still like you, but after this movie, I don't even know if I like you anymore.
I think I texted you. I was like, Carl, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was
so
horrible,
sorry.
man. They were
oh my
on
God,
me.
they went in on him.
But I think in two, you get vindication.
Yeah.
I think in two, you get vindication because, you know, his discrepancies are so out there on this one that it gives you that window to go, wait a minute. Yeah. This is too much. And we're in the talks. We're talking about it, possibly doing an LAX3. We're still working on it. Yeah. But we're going to go to New York. LAX to 30 Rock.
LAX to 30 Rock.
LAX3.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
LAX3, I pitched to you the idea.
Yes.
And
guys, it's good. It's really good. It's really good, okay? That's why you need to watch 1.
Yeah.
You need to definitely watch 2, so you would be ready for 3.
3 is going to make you a superhero. And speaking of superhero, we're talking about you doing a superhero movie.
Oh, come on now.
You and I, we've been talking about doing that.
Okay.
So I think Foxy Brown.
Yes.
Foxy Brown.
Here she comes.
Foxy Brown.
I'm ready for it.
Well, Andrea, it's been a pleasure. I've had so much fun working with you. I just got to say this on camera, on set, that I love you.
I love you.
I love your husband. I love your kids. I just thank you for what you've done for my films. You've actually taken my films to the next level, your performance. And I've always wanted to work with someone that was on my caliber or level of artistry. Yeah. And you are that for me. She's my film wife. And
yep.
We're like brother and sister, but like we work together so well. Mm-hmm. We finish each other's sentences. I know. Like we have this chemistry that is so amazing.
Bonded.
And I'm so thankful for you. And I say again, I thank for your husband for sharing you with me and letting me, enjoy your gift, because your gift is just amazing. Just amazing.
Thank you.
So before you take off, anything you want to promote?
Of course, yes, I do. I have a lipstick line. It's called. It is out right now. You can go to loveherlips.com.
It should be on the screen. It'll be on the screen.
Yeah. So get that. I have 10 shades. They're very beautiful, neutral and bold colors. So make sure you get those. And check out my Instagram page at Andrea McClew. And then I also have a Friday show that I do called Fridays with Andrea on YouTube. I do a lot of product reviews, and it takes you on a lot of different places and tours of places I've been. I just went on a cruise recently, so that'll be coming up September 1st. My show is back, so check out Fridays with Andrea on YouTube.
What made you start your lipstick line? We didn't talk about that. I forgot about that. And I've posted that on our business page.
Yeah, I know you have, and thank you so much.
You're welcome, of course. Talk a little bit about it, though.
Well, a sister lost her job during the pandemic. I'm not kidding, I lost my job during the pandemic. Okay. And so I was trying to figure out, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't know what to do for a living. And someone was telling me about doing different lipsticks and how I can, get a vendor to do that for me. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm gonna customize them for myself just to have some lipsticks, why don't I make a business out of it? Yeah. And I did that back in 2020 was the first, November of 2020.
This is right before we met then.
This was, right no, we already knew each other. We had just met? Okay. No, we knew each other. That was 2020. Was it?
No, because we had.
That is, I guess so,
yeah. Because we shot
That's right,
Strong Black Woman 2.
We did.
In 2020.
2000, I think so.
Wasn't
it? 2019.
We shot that in 2019?
We shot that in 2019.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I know, crazy. But 2019, but in 2020, we launched my first line of lipsticks, and it sold out in like 2 months. Wow. And I was like, okay, I got to do this again. And then I came out with the 10 new colors recently. That just launched 2 weeks ago, I want to say. And here I am. And I'm actually promoting the lip line at the Las Vegas Film Awards. So all of the women filmmakers will be getting in their swag bags one of my lipsticks. So I know, right? So here we are, and then we're in talks with doing a boutique soon and expanding the business to eyeshadows in the spring of next year.
Look at you.
I know. I don't know what to say.
I guess the price done went up now.
I don't know what to say.
LAX to 30 Rock may not get made now.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You see how my face changed real fast?
You sure did. You was like, no, we doing it.
We're doing this movie. We're doing it.
You're so humble, though, because I get these text messages from you, and you're so concerned about this movie coming out.
I text you all the time.
Guys, she texts me all the time, like, I don't know if I did get this
2 a.m. I'm like, Carl.
2 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, girl, are you smoking crack?
I know. I'm sorry.
This movie is off the chain.
Those. Yeah,
What's wrong with you? Have you seen one?
I know.
Like, you did such an amazing job in one, and you were there when we filmed too. But I understand it. But you're so humble. That's what I love about you. You're very humble, and you're doing so much. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that you came to our set here at the Carl Jackson Podcast.
Thank you for having me. Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us. I'm going to put up a video of us, of us from the very beginning doing our first interview to now.
This is a great moment for me because I am with my lead lady, and my episode today is being directed by the legendary Paul Crouch Jr.
Oh my God.
He's a legendary broadcaster, so I feel like I'm in heaven right now.
This is awesome.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
So,
it's a dream.
Thank you guys for watching the Carl Jackson podcast. Until next time, be blessed. Peace.
We did it. Oh, we did it.